Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Junaid and I will be explaining the working of chatbots, how these chatbot works and the main flow graph of the chatbots. So first, let me tell you about that a chatbot lies into a category known as deep natural language processing. Basically, these are two different fields merged together. The one is known as the deep learning and the second is known as the natural language processing. So as the main target is to explain the workings of chatbots, I will not be diving into the detailed explanations of deep learning, the mathematics behind them and the mathematical modeling. Similarly, I'll be just giving the simple definitions of the both fields. So let's start with deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of a broader aspect known as machine learning, where the neurons come into play. They learn from huge amount of data, extracts the important and the features known as features from that data, and upon that extracted information they are used to predict the events that will occur in the future. Whereas in natural language processing, you know that humans have been writing things down for thousands of years. Over that time, our brain has gained a tremendous amount of information and experience in understanding a natural language. Let's say there are many natural languages: English, Urdu, Hindi, and many more. When we read something written on a piece of paper or in a blog post on the internet, we understand what that thing really means. In the real world, we feel the emotions that reading that thing elicits, and we often visualize how that thing would look like in a real life. So, the natural language processing is a method that is focused on enabling the computers to understand, interpret, manipulate, and process a human language, to get computers closer to a human level understanding of the language. So, getting back to the main topic, the chatbots, let's move toward the first thing, that is the flow graph of a chatbot. You know there are you can see three main modules of the modules that will be working at the back end of a chatbot that we have designed. The first module will be the pre-processing, the next is the neural networks, and the third one is the post-processing. So as you can see, a question has appeared. Sorry to say that the chatbot we designed was in Urdu language, but I will be translating each and every word written on Urdu, so I hope it helps. So you can see that the question has arrived on the first step, that is kaise hain aap. Kaise hain aap would be translated into English like how are you. So when a question is fed to the system, it becomes the first input for to the module known as the pre-processing. What this pre-processing module will do, it will transform that whole string of input into a numerical vector. How does this happen? I'm sorry, I just moved forward, but let me first tell you about the corpus, what a corpus is. So a corpus, one can say a database. The corpus plays a very important role in the performance of a chatbot. Why? Because the corpus is the backbone of the project. The neural networks learns from it. What a corpus is, the corpus basically consists of sequential conversations. Normally a sequential conversation, you'll find the sequential conversations in the movie dialogues, in the drama scripts and something like that. The importance of the corpus could be explained by an example, like, for example, why is it said that a deaf child will never speak, or why a deaf is always a dumb too? Because a deaf child never listens. He never listens how to use the sound box to create a voice, to create a word, and how to use those words to create a sentence, and how to speak a language. Similarly, this corpus will act as the ears for the chatbot. The more versatile and intense it is, the better will be the learning of the system, or the chatbot. So a standard corpus consists of huge amount of the conversations and the dialogues and the scripts of movies or dramas, basically those scripts that are used in the daily life routine. I'm giving the example of a simple chatbot that is used for the conversations of general conversation like. So that was the importance of the corpus. If the corpus is not that versatile and not that intense, the responses of the system will not be according to your expectations. So what I said, that the question that has appeared, which means how IU will be given to the module pre-processing, and this pre-processing module will convert and transform this string input into a numerical vector. Let's look into what pre-processing module is. So mainly I have divided this main block of pre-processing into further two smaller modules known as the cleaning module and the numerical transformer. What the cleaning module will do, as cleared from the name cleaning module, the cleaning module is doing, what is it doing? It is written in Urdu, assalamu alaikum kaise hain aap. It is again the meaning of this is hello, how are you, or hi, how are you. So in each language there are accents and there are characters that we don't want in the processing of a system. So what this cleaning module will do, it will take that string, remove the unwanted characters and the symbols like dots, question marks, apostrophes, hyphens. It will remove all of them and will tokenize the string into uh, separate words, and will create an array or a vector, as you can see in the video. So once the cleaning module has done this, this array or vector will be fed further to the numerical transformer. Why numerical transformer? Because you know that a system or computer understands the language of ones and zeros only, or the numeric language. It doesn't understand the language of words. So we have to convert these words or the vectors that are consisting of words into some numbers, keeping all the context and the meaning as it is. So what will be done here, that again that vector will be fed to the numerical transformer. Now you can see a dictionary has appeared. Let me tell you about this dictionary. This dictionary is created from the corpus. You know, the corpus is divided into sentences, question and the answers, and then it is search for the unique words. What is a unique word? A unique word is a word that has appeared in the whole corpus at least 15 times. I'm saying this 15 because our corpus is versatile enough to cover all the words that has appeared at least 15 times in the corpus. You can remove that limit, you can set that limit to 1 or 2 or 3 times. So these all the words you can see in the dictionary, these all words has appeared at least 15 times in the corpus, and the numbers assigned to them are just in a simple numeric order. There is no specific criteria for assigning the words. Let's say in the corpus the first word appeared is hello, so the word hello will be assigned as 0, and the next word appeared in the corpus is how, so the next word will be appointed as 1, and up to so on. The number of words that has appeared in your corpus, the numbers will be assigned accordingly. So what this numerical transformer is doing, it is taking the first index of the vector and is scanning the dictionary for the representative for the respective numerical number. It takes that numerical number and replaces that number with the word that it just found in it. So by this process, the whole vector of words is transformed into a numeric vector. But keep in mind, it doesn't have messed the context and the meaning of the sentence. It is keeping all the context and all the meaning of the sentence as it is. Moving forward, so as I said that the pre-processing has converted the input questions into a numerical vector. Now this numerical vector will be fed to our neural networks, and the neural networks will generate the answer for that question. How did this happen? Let's look into the neural networks. So the neural networks, the term I'm using here is a very broad term. There are so many neural networks. Some of them are the artificial neural networks, and then the convolutional neural networks used for the image recognition and object recognition, and then comes the recurrent neural networks. And in those recurrent neural networks, we have used LSTMs, the long short term memory, because we need a memory of the memory of the previous input to the networks, because we need to know what the previous word was, to find out the context, to find out the meaning, and to find out what type of question was being asked from the chatbot. So what does these neural networks do? It will take the input word by word, like this. Basically you can see the question is आपका क्या हाल है. It is translated at, again, how are you. There are two things, the encoder and the decoder. The encoder and decoder are just names. Both are basically a blocks and a cell of LSTMs. What these LSTMs will do, it will take the input word by word. Why word by word? Because it has to keep the memory of the words that has been fed into it. It will take the input word by word and find out the context of the question being asked, which type of question is being asked from it, and will try to find out the meaning, the context from that question, and will generate a thought vector. As you can see, the thought vector is generated from the encoder. What this encoder will do, it will just simply find out the meaning and the context of the question, and will generate a thought vector. The thought vector will be containing the contextual meaning and a simple push start for the decoder's first LSTM unit, because the decoder also needs to know what type of question was and from where it should start the generating answer. So the answer being generated from the decoder is मैं ठीक हूँ. It is translated again as I am fine. So the word I was given to the decoder from the thought vector that was generated from the encoder, and the decoder will keep the memory of the word it just produced. This is how this neural network work. This is just an overview. It is not the explanation. There's a lot of maths behind it. There are a lot of formulas that how these things work, but it is just a general overview of how these chatbots are working. This is just a flow graph. So the neural networks have produced the output. Now there was, as you saw in the neural networks, that the input was in words and the output was also in words. That was just for the explanation. Basically the neural networks will take the inputs as in this flow graph in the numerical vector, and will generate the output in the numerical vector form. But as we being humans, we does not understand the language of numbers, so we need some post processing on that generated answer, so that we can convert it into a human understandable language. So we need this module known as the post processing. Sorry. What this post processing will do, it will take that numerical answer and will generate this मैं ठीक हूँ, that I am fine. Let's look into it, how this post processing works. This post processing is just one can say it is the reversive process of the pre-processing. It will just take like this. The decoder produces the answer in the numerics. Pre-processing will take it and will find the respective word that is in the dictionary, the same dictionary that I told you behind. It will find the respective word for that number and will replace that word at that place, and will concatenate it and will create again a string like this in this video. There is not much math behind this, not much of science. It's just simple looking for the respective number, finding the respective word, replacing the word with the number, and just concatenating it. That will be and I will be ending the video here. This is how our chatbot is really working, and thank you.